Hi, in this video I will show you how to make such a stand, and the purpose of this video is to show you how you can deal with this in such situations when we have a lot of the same features that are evenly spaced. And here we will use the facilities that the 3D CAD systems give us when it comes to designing parts in which some features is repeated many times. Okay, I will create a new project and I will start by creating a sketch of the outline of this stand. Select the sketch and select the XZ plane as the plane of the sketch, and now using the line command create the initial shape. Okay, click escape to cancel the line drawing command, and now with the Ctrl key select these three lines and select the equal constraint so that these three lines are equal. And the equal constraint is still active, so select this line and this line, then this line and this line, so that these lines are equal and these lines should also be equal. Press escape to cancel this command, select the sketch dimension command to determine the dimensions of these lines, and first select this line and enter here 20 mm, and then select this line and enter 15 mm. And because we used equal constraint here, we gave appropriate relations between the geometries, and these two dimensions are enough to define the sketch. Press escape to cancel the dimension command. The sketch is complete. Click finish sketch to exit the sketch, and now on the basis of this sketch we will add an extrusion. Select the extrude operation, select the profile. Here in this case this profile has been selected by default. We only have one sketch, but if you ever need to select profiles, you can do it here. If something is wrong, you can click this button to deselect all profiles. This button is highlighted, the profile selection is active, so now we can select this profile, and this profile has already been selected, and on the basis of this profile we will add a sketch extrusion, so that on the basis of a 2D sketch to create a 3D solid. And to specify the length of the extrusion, you can do it with this arrow. You can just drag this arrow to the appropriate value, or you can specify the length of the extrusion by entering the appropriate value in this field. Let's enter 100 mm here and click OK to confirm. And in this way, on the basis of a 2D sketch, we got a 3D solid, and now on one of these faces, let's create a sketch on the basis of which we will add a hole. Select this face to create sketch on this face, select create sketch, and select drawing a circle, and draw a circle in any place. And when drawing a circle, we could specify the diameter of this circle, but if we didn't do that, we can now select the sketch dimension, select the circle, click the left mouse button, and enter 10 mm here, and now select the center of the circle and this line and enter here 7.5. okay, then select the center of the circle and this line, and here as a dimension enter 10 mm. And okay, we have a sketch on the basis of which we will make one hole. Click finish sketch to exit the sketch, and now I need the same sketch on these two walls, and we could create such a sketch again, but we can also copy this sketch. To copy the sketch, select what you want to copy, and we can press Ctrl+C, or we can right click and select copy. Then select this wall, select create sketch, and here right click and select paste, or press Ctrl+V. A copy of the sketch has been added. Of course, a copy of the sketch has been added in the place where the original sketch was, only on this plane. I will rotate this view a little to show you. Okay, and let's go back to the top view. And now I need to move this sketch by 15 mm in this direction, and we can do it with this arrow, or we can simply specify the value to -15 mm. Click OK to confirm it. And at this point, this sketch is only moved its position, it's not fully defined. We can leave it in this way, But if you want to fully define this sketch, then you just need to add the dimensions of this sketch in one axis, okay, and in the other axis. And now this sketch is fully defined. The sketch has changed color to black, which means that the sketch is fully defined. Click Finish Sketch to exit sketch. And now let's add a circle on this wall in a similar way. Select Sketch, Ctrl+C, select this wall, create a new sketch, Ctrl+V, and move it by -15 mm, OK. And in this case I will not add dimensions, I will leave it as it is and click Finish Sketch. Now on the basis of these circles, let's create holes, so let's add a pocket operation, and the pocket operation in Fusion 360 is also an extrude operation, only with a properly defined type of operation. Select this operation, select this profile, and now on the basis of this profile we can add another fragment of the solid and pay attention to the type of operation. At this point it is the join operation. But now if you drag this arrow down, the type of operation has changed to cut, and on the basis of this circle we can make a hole, and here as the depth of this circle enter -15 mm, or just drag the arrow to -15 mm. Click OK and do the same with this circle, select the extrude operation, select the profile and drag the arrow down to -15 mm and click OK. And again select extrude, select the profile and drag the arrow to -15 mm and click OK. And now let's make a chamfers on the edges of the holes. With the Ctrl key select 3 edges of these holes and from the Modify menu select the chamfer operation. And define the chamfer dimension. You can define the chamfer dimension using this arrow, or you can define the chamfer dimension by entering the dimension in this place, but we can also enter the dimension in this field. And here enter 1 mm and click OK. And we have created one hole on each level of this stand, and now we will use the operation which will make it easier to fill the whole stand in the holes, and this operation is a rectangular pattern. From the Create menu select the pattern, rectangular pattern, then as an object type select features, and then in the operation history select the features you want to repeat in a rectangular pattern. It will be the chamfer operation and free extrude operation based on which we made the holes. Then we have to define the axis. Click here to activate the axis selection and select, for example, one of the long edges of the solid and drag this arrow to specify the direction of this pattern. When it comes to the parameters of the rectangular pattern, we have to specify the number of occurrences, that is, in this case, the number of copies of these holes and the distance at which the linear pattern will be made. When it comes to the length of the linear pattern, the length of the entire solid is 100 mm and the center of the first hole is 10 mm from this edge. And I would like to the center of the last hole was 10 mm from this edge. So the length of the entire linear pattern is 100 mm minus 10 mm on this side and minus 10 mm on this side. That is, the length of the rectangular pattern is 80 mm. And as the quantity enter 7 and click OK. And in this way we created such a stand in which we have 21 holes for various items. In this lesson you learned two interesting options that can make it easier to create 3D models in Fusion 360. The first is to copy the sketch from plane to plane, and in this case we had a simple sketch of the circle, but there are often situations in which this sketch is more complex and we have to create such a sketch on one plane and then we have to create such a sketch on the other plane. And copying sketches can save time, And the second thing is a rectangular pattern, which allows you to make any number of copies of the selected feature in a linear pattern. This is also in some cases can speed up and can make easier 3D modeling in 3D CAD systems. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching and please subscribe to this channel.